Alright guys, a dear friend of mine, Chris, over in Canada land, that's Chris, Oliver and Vax, sent me a Christmas card. In the Christmas card is one of these seed impregnated trees, wild flowers it says, so I'm going to plant it up. Oh, I've never done this before, so remove shape, yeah. Place in a pot of soil. Get the lump out, don't want lumps in it. Place in a pot of soil. Cover lightly with soil. And water well. Okay. Cover a pot with wet newspaper to retain moisture. Place in a warm place till after germination. Lift and cover. Okay, well I ain't got any newspaper, so that'll do. Should use a round pot really, shouldn't I? That'll do. Right. Put that in the greenhouse and see how we get on, eh? And before we move along, here is the potting up of Sandra M's slices of her single seed potato challenge. 7 slices. I am so jealous. I got 5 and 1 died. 4. Hey, good luck Sandra. Let's see how we get on, eh? I've got a load of strawberries to plant, and rather than put them in the ground, I want to put them in my plant tower. I did them in an old tower a couple of years back, and they were quite successful. But as you can see on the second layer down there, which is really the third layer, I got some mint. So I thought I'd get on the old Tinternet and Google to see if you can plant strawberries with mint. There's nothing in my companion planting book about it. So here is page 1 of the searches that Google threw up, millions of them. And what's good about these top 2, there's no ad logo next to the URLs. I don't trust the ones with ad because they're sponsored and they pay to be there. So this one's from Gardening Know-How, and it says herbs, dill, fennel, coriander, mint, sage and many others are excellent companions for strawberries, helping to repel slugs and other pests. Bonus! And then I glanced down at the Home and Garden search and it says what should not be planted next to strawberries. And it says avoid planting any of the following alongside strawberries: cauliflower, cabbages, broccoli, fennel, tomatoes, potatoes, melons, peppers and mint. Oh, for God's sake. And wherever you look, there's conflicting evidence all the way through. Yes, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it, yes, no, yes, no. Anyone got any experience? Please let me know. Not doing very well with cucumbers this year. I just potted on the 1 mini munch that I got. The other 3 didn't germinate. These are Delta Star, not a single one germinated. I got 1 masterpiece and 2 market more, so they're a bit dry at the moment. I wanted to get them out now. It's a bit weird because I've had a fertile round and the seeds are there. They're not rotten, they're intact. They haven't rotted away, they're just not doing anything. So make the best of what I got, I think. Oh, let's get some to poke these out with. That was the right one. Grabbing the seed leaves. There we go. There you go, a bit deeper. With the seed leaf, I just broke that one off. I've done a second sowing of the cucumbers as well. So fingers crossed. Right, back in the greenhouse with you guys after a good drink. Weird. If it was easy, we could all do it. Let's have a quick look in here actually. Nothing wrong with the seed. It's not rotten, it's just damp on the outside. The seed case is starting to split, mind. I might just put these on a bit of tissue paper to see what happens. Do the old chip them on the goldfish, chip them on the tropical fish tank. I tell you, that's strange. They're almost like just come out of the packet. Like I say, most peculiar. Right. Well, okay, guys, a bit of a slug trial, anti-slug trial. In my Vegepod, I've had a few of these Ferrimax organic slug killer pellets down. Uses the iron phosphate, is it? I can't remember now. Anyway, so it's the one that's it's the modern one, if you like, because they're the ones that are illegal now. Like I say, I've had a few pellets down. I just put a few more down actually. But what I've been doing, I've been using the Vegepod as like a nursery for some of the seedlings. And here's some basil, and they've been chunked overnight. My own fault, I didn't put any pellets in the tray. But what I'm getting at is the slugs obviously weren't attracted to the pellets in the Vegepod because they've gone in here. There's nothing on the bottom, I've checked. Same again with the summer savoury. You know, so what I've got, I've got some roofing felt, the old mineralised felt, the rough stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put those on there for tonight, like so. And also I'm going to put some pellets around just to see if there's any sort of trails or anything on the felt tomorrow morning. Don't know if it's going to work, but that's what experimentation is all about, isn't it? The idea being I want the slugs to be attracted to the bran in the slug pellets. So I want to see if they do actually cross the roofing felt before I start cutting it all up into... a bit much. Before I start cutting it up into little circles and using it on the cabbage, etc. Let's have a go, eh? You never know. Right, well that's been a couple of days now, about 3 or 4 days I think it is, since I put the roofing felt down, this mineralised felt, put some slug pellets on it as you remember, hoping to attract or bait the slugs to come onto it, and they haven't, and there's been no more damage to any of these. I think it's going to work, so I'm going to take it out now because I need the room for some lettuce. Got some lettuce to go in there, some lettuce there. Yeah, I'm going to call that successful and make some cabbage discs up, brassica discs. Well, there we are then. Got some lettuce in there and a couple in there. So that's the Vegepod, fully planted at the moment. I could have got away with some onions in there, I think, but yeah, I've got enough onions in here at the moment. Let's have a quick look at it. Women are amazing, isn't it? All that in that space. Next thing to come out will be those carrots, and we'll start filling again. These pak choi aren't far off. They were planted. Funnily enough, they were planted before those at the back, and those at the back are bigger. Anyway, so it's time to put this to bed for the night. Oh, I can't reach it. There we are now. That'll keep the bugs off. And the this mesh light. Don't you see it? Can you see how fine it is? Yeah. In my finger. It provides quite a bit of heat frost protection. Keeps the warmth in a little bit. So on a sunny day, the dark compost gets warm and it gets trapped inside with this. Only a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's that extra little bit, extra degree or so of protection. Not that there's any frost due, but you never know. Leaf and ground plot today, and the weather is just like me, very bright. Got some peas to go in. These are, I'm talking to my camera. You're famous. Yeah, so we got loads of peas to go in. These are the low ones. I can't remember what they are now. I think the Hearst green shaft. There's two different types, and I will let you know. I'll put a little thingy up there somewhere. Because I forgot. I wrote the numbers down, but not the blooming name. Yeah, so
I reckon. Then we got here, we got 3 by 5, they'll all fit in there. I got 3 lots, so yeah, I'll do 3 lots. I'll just match up the tray. 15 cell tray, look. 2 to 4 or 5 seeds in each. Yeah, they've all come out. They've all come up, well, ish. So I might have to use the bulb planter for this. I don't like doing that, but lovely roots on them, look. These are great, these container-wise trays. Got these from patch seed potatoes. They were previously used for chitting potatoes in. And they've been new lease of life for Digwell. There we are then, first lot of peas done. Got the climbing ones to do now, these are the low ones, 24 to 30 inches. So the other ones are going to go on the frame. Back in a second. Cool, that'll do. Oh yeah. What's next? Leeks. Whew. Right guys, time to get some leeks in. Same as every year, polystyrene fish box or pasty box, whatever it is. I've just given this bit here to my mate, next allotment along, two allotments along. And all I do is grow them like this. They've been doing here for a core 3-4 months now, I don't know. And all I do is cut a chunk out like that. Try to do it with one hand so you can see it. Can't be bothered to set the camera up. These are Argenta mammoths. I'm going to try and do this so you can see. Hang on. These are musselburgh. These are Argenta. These are somebody else's mammoth. And then just take the chunk out and then puddle down to the plot and stick them in. Right, what I'd normally do with the leeks is wash them off. Wash the roots off, but I let those go a bit dry, look. So they're going to fall apart quite easy. And then, usual routine, I'll just do one here. I think you can see that one, can't you? Make a nice deep hole. It's a bit dry here. I'll probably break some more off in a minute, but let's tease them out. Here we go. Just twiddle them in the hole. You can break the roots off. I'm not going to this time. Don't think I ever have actually. Yeah, it's a bit dry this. There we are, just leave that and I'll puddle that in a minute. Right, what can I do across here? 4 across, I reckon. Let's try and get that a bit deeper. There we are. That's better, right. That's better. And just twist it in. Leave it, and then come back in a bit and water them all in. So I'll do a couple more and then Alright guys, Westend Plot this morning. What am I going to do today? Well, I've got to trim this lot for a start, even though we've been told not to work this bank because it's falling down. I can't leave that grass like that, it's ridiculous. Going to get some leeks in that bed there. Just have a quick look round before we get going. That's the Chambord, is it Chambord? Madeleine cabbage. Oh, beets, they're a bit sluggish the beets, I'll have to give them a good water I think. Spinach, Wong Bok, hey, got it right. Red drum head in there. Can you see this snail trail? Look, it starts on top of the net store, across the netting. Oh, I don't know where he's gone from here. Here we are then, is the old parsnips. I'm doing alright. Tell you what I've noticed, this compost this year seems to be Alright, let's get my finger in view, Steve, might help. When this compost gets a little bit dry, it cakes over a bit this year. I don't know why, I didn't have that last year. Keep an eye on that. Right, that's the leeks in at the Westend Plot. I tell you what, whoever thought of this way of planting leeks deserves a bloody medal. Oh, there we are then, all trimmed. Nice and neat, had a haircut. Too bad. It's a rustic haircut. I don't use lawnmowers up here. Well, I don't anyway. Sure some do. Oh look, and the sparrows are already getting the insects out of the grass, look. Glad to help you, buddy. Right, yeah, leaf and ground plot. Need to get some lettuce in, so I'm going to put some in there. And we'll see how we get on. Get a fair few in there, I reckon. Yes, I got plans for the other beds. So I'm not going to film it, I'll bring you back when I've done it. Sorted. Well, there we go then. 7 rows, all different types of lettuce, 4 in each row. And I'll put the names up later on. These are all the RZ varieties. Got a little bit of space over there for some more, but I just want to keep it even at the moment. Alright guys, that's been a week now since I've done the Christmas tree, and not a lot's happening. So I've reread the instructions and remove shade. So when it says place in a pot, I reckon it's supposed to say place on a pot, because that's like stupid really, isn't it? Cover lightly with soil, water, well yeah, so what I'm going to do. Yeah, nothing, it's absolutely nothing. Right, let's get rid of that. Yeah, that'll be alright, let's put it over there a bit. Another pot. A bit big. That'll be alright. Crikey, that's well marked up, that pot. That's probably going to be a bit better, isn't it, I reckon. Can you see that? Yeah, let's put an angle. Yeah, that makes more sense, I think. Bloody instructions. Cover lightly with soil, it says, so not too much. Lightly. What's lightly? 6 mil? Yeah. And water lightly. Wait until 70 to 80. Yeah, that'll be right. I wonder what sort of seeds they are, because they're from, like, you know, they're foreign, aren't they? They're Canadian. Might be weeds in this country. Mind you, seeing the weeds at my allotment today, they're what they called, oops, a bit loud that, Rose Bay Willow Herb, and they are everywhere. I'll put a picture up later on. They're an annual weed, and they got the most fluffy seed heads in the world, and they blow everywhere. And I was talking to my mate Steve up there, another Steve, good name. Talking to Steve up there. And he's just finished his plot. Inundated with them, inundated. So, right, let's see how this gets on. Here's one for you then, guys. When you're doing square pot transplanting, I probably showed you this last year, but a long time ago, wasn't it, last year? So instead of going in square like that, go in at an angle. Like that, and you've got gaps all round the corners then, look. Darn sight easier to fill, especially when you're only going up one size of pot. I'm probably talking at my arse at the if it's a bigger pot, you know. But, and you just put your fingers down the corners like that. There we are, loads of borage planted up, for which the bees will thank me.